Hello there, it's Patricia from Pinky's World, and today I'm doing a little project that I've been putting off for years. I have promised the boys I would do them the wee leprechaun hats, and I just every year can't be bothered. I haven't done it. So this year I came across some sweets. They're actually these heart ones. A bit stupid for St. Patrick's Day, but I thought I'll punch a nice sweet thing and cover it, but it doesn't cover it. So what I ended up doing is I punched a bit of green and then I punched the shamrock and attached it, and the 1-inch punch fits it perfectly, but I didn't like the pink around the edges, so I have coloured it partly. That's not the best one to show you. This one here actually came out better. I remembered I had some metallic pens. These here, you get these in B&M. They're a couple of pounds for a pack, and they're watercolour on one side and metallic on the other. So the metallic coloured them in greatly. Now there's not much ink in them really. They don't last long. I nearly emptied one doing the first bit of stuff, so be warned, they are just cheap markers. But they did the job for me. They coloured them in. I didn't mind the back of them being pink. I'm not going that mad. And if I stuck paper on it, it would be too awkward for the children to get it opened. So anyway, I just wanted to keep them as small, neat and tidy as I could. Really easy to make and quick. There's only 4 sweets in it each, so they're getting other wee things, so I don't want to fill them with badness, you know. So anyway, we're going to make one. So you need a piece of the green. I've gone with Garden Green card, and it needs to be 6 inches by 1 3/4. I'm keeping it really small. I started off with a bigger one, and I'm just going to say it's going to take too many sweets to fill, so I changed it down and made it nice and small. So get yourself that piece of green, 1 3/4 inches by 6 inches, and you're just going to score it at 1/4 of an inch along here. Just 1/4 of an inch, that's it. We're going to stick our piece of card here, a strip of black, and it's 1/2 inch wide. I've gone with by 6 inches. So I'm just going to put a nice wee bit of glue on it. So it is here's well, because this is going to be rounded and you want it to make sure that it stays in place. And I think the best bet is to stick this in advance, let it dry before you start curling it. So we'll do that and then let it dry for as long as we can before we move on. So just use that wee line that you scored there to line this up. And I'm bringing it right down so that it's actually covering that fold, so that when I fold it back that it still looks good. I'm not seeing too much scrappiness. So it's really straight looking, isn't it, Patricia? So anyway, you've got this wee 1/4 inch. Get your scissors now and just snip up to the black. Don't go into your black, but snip up that close to it. Right down to the end. If you don't go right up to the black piece, you'll get wee corner sort of folds sitting out on you. You don't want that either. So I'm going to let that dry and tell you what else you need. We're going to line it. We're going to put a green one inside and one on the bottom, so it gives it a good wee firm hold. And this is your base for your hat. These two are 1 3/4 inch circles. This one is the big circle that is in circle saying, so it's 2 3/8. So that was handy to have. I punched out some gold card with my, now the shamrock is a woodware one. I have none belonging to Stampin' Up, so I use what I have in all cases. So that's what's punched those out. The same with the wee sweets, like I told you, I just punched scrap paper and that. And then for this, your buckle, you need a 3/4 inch by 3/4 inch piece of the gold, and around the corners, just a wee corner rounder, and then a piece of black, and it measures 1/2 inch by 1/2 inch, and we're just going to stick it onto the front of that, and it just gives the illusion that it's threaded through like a wee buckle. It's really good idea. Saves you having to start I do have a buckle from an old set I could have used, but not everybody would have it, so this is much easier. So just centre that to look like the wee buckle. And as I said, inside I'm putting 4 sweets decorated up, and I'm also popping £2 coins. You have to give them a lucky coin, don't you, at St. Patrick's Day. So that's what I'm popping, but I'm also stuffing it with some shredded paper. So another bit got rid of out of my craft room, which is good. So let's have a look at this and see how it's doing. You want to actually go in, if you have it now, go in. We're just going to give it about 1/4 of an inch, a wee mark, just down there. And we're going to use that as our wee mark and for putting our glue onto. So I'm just going to round this ever so slightly and carefully, just to give it a wee bit more, breaking up the fibres and making it easier to turn. So you want to fold up your wee doodads that you cut. Just push them up. If you pop that over, pressing those down, you'll know if you've got it all in the right place, and hopefully that has taken and stuck well, because you're going to be circling that up, pulling it around to that mark that you made, that wee score line there, and lining this up so that you know you're getting it nice and straight. And then you want to double check that everything is looking good. I'm going to hold that for a second with a wee peg to exactly where you want it, and I want to set that down and see if I've pulled it in enough for my circles. Yeah, that seems to be fine, doesn't it? So I'm happy enough with that. I'm going to start and put glue along here, and you could actually cut one of those bits down so they're not too bulky there, just that wee edge, but leave a wee tiny bit of it. And bear in mind, this is the back of it, so it shouldn't do. Nobody's going to see it. Boys aren't going to care. So put a good wee bit of glue on so that it really catches, because it's under a lot of strain. Bending over. Where's my lid? And get your clothes peg and have it to help you to line it up. So you want to set it right where you made that nice score line, making sure it's nice and straight at the top and the bottom. And that seems to be not too bad. Make sure your black's lining up, of course. So I'm going to stick that there to hold it for me. And you can see that this part here, once you cut it, you're seeing a bit of green. You just get your black marker and add a wee dab onto just where the black is, so that it makes it look finished. It really does like help it to clean it up. And you want that to really take. Actually swap that over now and put it at the bottom just to make sure it's really taken. And we're going to go in with our circles now. Seems okay. So you could go inside with your first one. I'm just going to put a bit of glue on those. And hopefully that'll help me to get it nice and straight. Actually, I'm going to pull them out this way. And then push them back in. So we're going on the inside of these. Just enough glue to catch your circle when you put it in there. Oops. Just a wee bit. So we're just going to pop those back down. I've tried this multiple ways. Is that one not cut? It is. And I found this was the best way to get a good circular shape. So pop that in, set it down, and then just go in with your tool and make sure that each edge is catching. You can see a wee bit of glue there, but it's all catching around the edge. So just give it a few minutes to take. And just leave the excess alone, it'll sort itself out. Just make sure that it's in a good circle. Anywhere that's not, now's the time to give it a shove. Sorry, my head keeps going in front of you, but I need to see right in here. That looks okay to me. So we're going to put glue on the outside as well. And that just gives it a good wee firm base. Oops. So stick your other one on. And just tidy up your circle. And allow that to take. So once you're happy, it's not perfect, but it's there, you know, and you're not going to see it anyway because we're now going to add more glue and stick it to the bigger one, which finishes it all off nicely. So just line that up in your larger circle. If you haven't got punches, just use your dies. If you can be bothered, maybe you won't be bothered. But I'm glad I got them off my list, my to-do list. So again, just give it a wee press so that everything's taken. That gives it a nice clean finish. So you want to stick in some of your nice paper. It's a wee bit too much probably, isn't it? Just to fill the bottom of it and keep it out so it gives a good shape. We can just stick on, make sure that's the back, so your seam's at the back, and you're going to stick on your wee buckle. What did we do with it? See these sleeves of mine? Oh, there you are. So we're just simply going to put some glue. We're just putting it on flat. Go to your front and just press it down so that it's going right against the bottom of your wee hat there. And just let it take. And it does look like the wee buckle on the hat. It really does. So now you want to add, I want to add a wee shamrock to the side, just a wee gold one. So I'm just putting it slightly in behind the hat and just pressing it there. And it's just a matter of popping in your, I'll put my coins in first, so they're at the bottom, and then just stack your sweets up. And there you have your wee, the awkwardest part is making that circle shape and getting your inner and outer to stick. But I've tried it both ways. I've tried it adding it, you know, pushing the circle around, and it just was too, it was driving me crazy, to be honest with you. So there they are. Boys will like them. They'll like the £2 inside. They'll be happy enough. So hope that gives you a wee idea, and maybe if it's been on your list, have a wee go at it and get it off your chest. And I'll catch us all again next week. Bye.